Hello friends! It is day 2 of trying to post every single day in October, and I'll be honest, I'm filming this on October 1st. I'm already pretty behind. But I thought the perfect first little fall themed video to start with was movies to watch this fall. I feel like whenever I look up fall themed things to watch, it's always like, oh, watch Gilmore Girls. I can't take it anymore. I can't watch any more Gilmore Girls. So here are fall themed things you should watch that are not Gilmore Girls. There are other recommendations out there, I promise. The first one is Dead Poets Society. Have I seen this? We're not gonna talk about that. I have the book, but I've not seen the movie. But from the book and from reviews and synopses? From things I've seen online. I mean, it's quite obviously based in the later months of the year. It's very cozy, so if you want an incredible movie to watch this fall and you want to cry your eyes out, watch Dead Poets Society. Coraline. Guys, I love Coraline so much. I've always known that I wanted to be a filmmaker, so growing up I would make little stop motion things with Legos or little action figures that I had. So stop motion movies are some of my favorites. I think this movie is so perfect for Halloween. And not all these movies are Halloween themed, but a lot of them are. Guys, my hair looks insane. I'm so sorry. I really cannot fix it. I tried everything and it's just not working with me. Like I said, this movie is perfect for Halloween, and I remember watching it when I was younger and it was a horror movie to me. It was so scary, so I could not watch it for years. I'm almost an adult now and I finally just rewatched it recently and oh, it's not as terrifying as I remember it. I think it's an incredible movie. Good Will Hunting. Hot take, I do not like this movie at all. I don't like it. I went on a whole rant about it in one of my what I watched in this month. I don't remember which one specifically, but I'll probably put the little link up there. I want to go on another whole rant about it, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna save your sanity and not make you listen to that. Once again, I think it has a very cozy end of year feeling, and I do think it's worth watching. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It's just one of my least favorites. It's like how some of my favorite movies kind of suck. Just because they're my favorite doesn't mean they're good, and just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're not good. When Harry Met Sally. I have not seen this. I love rom-coms so much. I'll admit it, they're some of my favorite movies ever. But I haven't seen this one. I was doing some research on the best movies to watch in the fall, and this one kept coming up over and over and over again. And from the pictures and from the trailer, once again, it's a very cozy, autumn-themed movie. My neighbor just brought his trash can back and he's right outside. Please don't look at me. That and You've Got Mail. They both came up in all the searches I made and all the lists I looked at, and I haven't seen either of them. I will watch them this fall. I want to. They're on my list. Little Women. I have seen this one. I've read it countless times. I love all the adaptations of it. But specifically, I'm gonna talk about Greta Gerwig's 2019 version because this movie is one of my favorites of all time. I love historical dramas and period pieces so much. They're probably one of my favorite genres of movies ever. And I remember reading Little Women for the first time when I was probably 8, and I didn't understand it at all. And I mean, the cast is just insane. I feel like I was a Timothy Chalamet hater for years, and I think it was just because I associated him with the fangirls. So I was oh, if I ever said I liked him, people would be it's only because he's hot. No, he's so talented. I've come to appreciate the talent that he has. And obviously I'm gonna love anything Greta Gerwig makes. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Once again with the stop motion movies, I love them. I'm also just gonna love anything Wes Anderson makes. I love the color scheme of this movie. I think that might be one of the things I love most of all about the whole thing. There's a lot of oranges and a lot of yellows, and it really reminds me of how everything looks outside when it's fall. So I think it's the perfect addition to this list. Hocus Pocus. We watch this probably every year around Halloween in my house. It's just such a classic. I don't know if I have much to say about it. And Hocus Pocus 2. We just watched this last year, I think. It was either last year or the year before. I don't know when it came out. It was a just now addition to this list, as I was thinking about it. They're both really great. I actually love how modern the new one feels. I feel most times whenever classic movies have a sequel and they modernize it, it's just ew, I don't like it. That's kind of how I felt about Knives Out. I loved the first one so much. It was so good. And the second one was just so modern. It just had so many references to things that were happening at the time. I feel it ages movies really badly, but I really liked this one. Next one is Edward Scissorhands, and I have a shirt with the movie poster on it, and I so should have worn it. Quite honestly, anything Tim Burton's made could be on this list. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. He just has this spooky feel, and I love it so much. I guess if we're on the theme of Tim Burton, Corpse Bride would be really good to watch. Beetlejuice, always a classic. Sweeney Todd, oh my gosh, Sweeney Todd is probably my #1 favorite musical, but it's one of my favorite movies. Was Nightmare Before Christmas Tim Burton? I think it was. Hold on. Okay, he came up with the story and the character designs, and he produced it, but he did not direct it. I'm counting it as a Tim Burton movie. Another kind of spooky pick is The Addams Family. Obviously it's a comedy, but for a comedy. It's very dark and moody, but without crossing over into like the horror movie realm. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Listen, I am not the world's biggest Harry Potter fan. I used to be. I will be honest. I used to be obsessed. I still have all the books. I've seen all the movies multiple times. I just don't love it as much as I used to, which is really unfortunate because these are my glasses. I look like Harry Potter and I'm okay with admitting that now. I'm not wearing my contacts right now, so I am kind of blind after taking those off again. But kind of similarly to Dead Poets Society, it just has this like cozy end of year academic feel to it. I feel like any movie that takes place in like an old looking school environment, like Dead Poets Society, Harry Potter, The Holdovers. Oh, I love The Holdovers. Those are all like end of year movies. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is a Peanuts household. Every fall we watch some kind of Charlie Brown movie. They're just so classic. I love them so much. And this one, I mean, it has to be one of my favorites. It's not my #1 favorite, but it's definitely up there. I feel like it's so perfect to watch like around Halloween specifically. And then lastly, my #1 favorite is A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I feel like this was so ahead of its time. Like so many of the jokes and so many of the bits in this movie, I feel like they still stand to this day. Like it's still one of the funniest things I have ever seen. I've watched this year round. This is not for me specifically a fall thing to watch. I will watch this whenever, wherever. It is one of my favorite things literally in the world. If you're gonna watch anything this fall, it's gonna be A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Please. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for putting up with how my hair looks. I don't know how to fix it, guys. I don't know what to do. Hopefully now you have a bit of a list of things to watch this fall that aren't Gilmore Girls and that aren't horror movies. There will be its own video though, trust. I love horror movies so much and I was like, I feel like it has to be its own video completely. I hope you guys had a good time watching this video. I had such a fun time making it and I will see you guys tomorrow, actually, if I remember to post a video. Bye. I hate everything I say. What am I saying? I need to script things out better.